That's how it ends? I'm just confused. I'm genuinely just like questioning what I just watched. Um, so I just finished Andor. So the okay, well, my review, my mind is still like fresh on everything. I had been watching it over the past couple weeks. I know it's been out for a while. I've been late to the game there, but um, yeah, I thought I would finally check it out because a lot of people were telling me, "Hey, this show is really good," or well, I mean, it doesn't start off as good, but just wait till you get to the end. The ending is really good. Like the last few episodes, like some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen. I don't know why the people are saying that because again, this is just my personal opinion. I didn't vibe with that at all. Uh, there's gonna be a lot of people that hate me for saying this, but I really, really disliked that show. Spoiler warning, in case you haven't seen the whole show yet, I am going to give my honest thoughts and reviews about all of it, season 1 and 2. I'm going to be talking about things from the show. So if you haven't seen it yet and you want to and you don't want spoilers, click off or save this video to come back and watch later. My honest opinion, I've never been that big of an Andor fan because, well, my line of thought is, why does a side character need such a big TV show? I love Rogue One. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies ever. Not just what Disney made, but like in general, I love that movie so much. But I much rather would have preferred to see a show about the blind guy rather than Andor. I did really enjoy seeing how Cassian got K2SO and they reprogrammed him, booted him up. I did really enjoy seeing K2 in this because he's one of my favorite characters. So that was fun. But before that, I'm sorry, I was just bored the whole time. I'm literally not exaggerating. I fell asleep, I think, every single episode except for the first one and episode 8. Episode 8, Who Are You? I think was the best episode because that one had like the most action and drama and emotion and story. Like that one was good, mostly because the entirety of the show before that episode was just a bunch of boring conversations and dancing, and I had no idea what was going on. I truly think that there's so many pointless things in this show. Like, what was the whole purpose of Cassian going to that planet and being trapped with all those random rogue people, and they were all like fighting against each other? What was that, episode 2 or 3? I think that lasted for both those episodes. That was way too long, and we never see them again. In my opinion, the first 3 episodes did not need to exist. The next 3 episodes didn't need to exist either. The last 6 episodes, episodes 7 through 12, were the only ones that were somewhat interesting enough for me to watch. I did enjoy seeing how Mon Mothma was brought to Yavin and her whole story. That was cool. I did enjoy that, but I'm sorry, I just expected to see so much more. I'm seeing comments everywhere that this show is like the more adult version of Star Wars. This show is actually good because it's darker and deeper and it's more intense and dramatic. In my opinion, the only thing that's actually more intense and dramatic is when they bring in the Empire. So I was talking with one of my friends a little while ago about the show, and we were talking about how you don't really see much of the Empire. You don't really see stormtroopers or TIE fighters or anything for most of the show. So when you do see that, it like makes it so much more intense and terrifying. It's like, oh crap, it's here. Like this thing is here. This is a killing machine. This is scary, because this show kind of shows more of the side of the rebellion, more of the side of the people, that are being corrupt by the Empire. Like the whole Gorm thing, that little massacre there, it's like showing, it's showing the people that aren't main characters. Honestly, I think they did Cyril's character very well. I did really like his character, and I was very sad when he died, because I think he was my favorite. But aside from that, I didn't really feel much emotion from this show. I didn't really see. I mean, honestly, even his death scene, they didn't even make that emotional. They just, oh, he's dead now. Like, draw that out, make it a little bit more impactful. Nope, he's just dead. I'm like, okay, you're just gonna kill him off like that? Cool. Wow, a character that I liked. Just discarded as if he's not important at all. I don't know, maybe there was a deeper meaning behind that, but I missed it because, I was probably sleeping. So let me get on to the real reasons why I didn't like the show. Basically, I thought it was just way too boring, and they could have made it so much shorter. That what they did in 12 episodes, I feel like they could have done in, 7 or 6 even. And going back to what I said a second ago about people saying this show is, more for adults, I don't think you need to put a scene in there of a woman being assaulted in what way. Like that, I think was very messed up because this is Star Wars. This is meant for kids. George Lucas's original vision was to make this show for all ages, but he directed it towards kids. Yes, there are some things in Star Wars that are pretty dark, but it's nothing crazy. Like, a kid can handle that. Compared to something more traumatizing and real and, quite frankly, just disturbing on so many levels, that did not need to be in the show. Oh, yeah. Okay, so my next biggest complaint with the show, and it's probably the biggest complaint with the show, and I think anybody can agree with me on this, even people that like the show. Where the heck are all the aliens? So this is Star Wars. There is thousands of different species, actually more. C-3PO, for example, is programmed with over 6 million forms of communication.
Remember that I am fluent in over 6 million forms of
What are you telling them?
So you're telling me there's at least 6 million different species out there, and you're telling me that like 95% of the characters in Andor are human. We're on Coruscant, for example, the center of the galaxy, one of the core worlds, and you're telling me with how many different species come to this planet, we're still only seeing the majority of them be human? It makes no sense. I know the majority of the Empire is human, so I can get that. But still, I feel like we should have seen a lot more aliens. Like, I'm not even joking. Go to any of the scenes in this show. Like, any scene, any shot with multiple people in it, and then you can pick out maybe 2 aliens and then like 12 humans. Like, the percentage of aliens compared to humans is so small, and I don't understand that. Like, that doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. Coruscant didn't even look like Coruscant. It just looked like a big, city. It didn't give a Coruscant vibe to me at all. This show felt way too much like the real world. There was actually a scene where there was a literal coffee shop. It looked like these 2 girls were sitting down in a Starbucks having a coffee while having their conversation. Nothing about this show gave me a Star Wars vibe until the last couple episodes when we finally saw Yavin. That was cool. That was the first bit of like real Star Wars feeling I got. I was like, oh, hey, this is Yavin. But that's not enough to make up for the rest of the show, including season 1. It did not feel like Star Wars one bit to me. I couldn't get interested in it. Another one of my biggest complaints is Bale Organa. So Bale Organa is played by Jimmy Smits. He was replaced by Benjamin Bratt. Is that right? Is that this guy's name? Yeah, Benjamin. I'm not trying to take away from you as an actor, but I do think that they should not have recasted Jimmy. In my opinion, that's very disrespectful to Jimmy. I know why they did it is because I heard rumors that he was off doing another project, so he wasn't able to make it for Andor because of like scheduling complications. But if you can't get Jimmy to be in the show as Bale, then either wait until he's free to film those scenes or cut his character from the show completely. I really did not think that he needed to be recast because that took me out of it. Again, no hate to Benjamin, but every time that I saw him, I did not see Bale. I was thinking, I wish it was Jimmy instead. Like, again, Benjamin did a phenomenal job. I feel like he did portray the character well. He stood like him. He did look like him a little bit. He spoke like him. He's a very good actor, very talented, impressive. But I still think that they should have either waited till Jimmy was available or cut his character because Jimmy is Bale. Like even in Star Wars Rebels, Bail Organa's look is based off of Jimmy. Jimmy is even in Kenobi. He's in the movies. He's in Rogue One. He's in Revenge of the Sith. Like he is Bail Organa. You can't recast such a big actor like that. It's like such a well-known faced character. Like for example, would you recast Anakin? Like would you if Hayden Christensen wasn't available, would you have somebody else play Anakin? Or would you have someone else take over Ewan McGregor's spot as Obi-Wan Kenobi? I really highly doubt that. I mean, there's a reason you didn't recast Luke Skywalker. You used Mark Hamill's younger appearance as Luke for Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian. You did for Leia in Rogue One and Tarkin. I don't understand why you would recast such an important character. I noticed that they recast Bale Skull for Ahsoka. That makes sense. Ray Stevenson, rest in peace. Phenomenal actor. I loved his performance. My favorite character in Ahsoka. I wish we could have seen more, but we will at least see more of the character now recast by another guy. I forgot his name, but that makes sense. You know, if there's a lot more story to tell with that character, I don't see them doing a deep fake of Ray Stevenson's face onto this other guy for the whole show. That makes sense. But in Andor, Bail Organa's character barely had any screen time. Like he was in there a little bit, but not enough to recast him, I don't think. Sorry, I'm on that a lot, like way too much. I just love Jimmy Smits as Bale, and I just think they did him dirty by recasting him. I mean, sure, he might have agreed to it, but still, I don't think they should have done that. I heard so many people telling me, "Oh, this show gets so much better at the end. The last few episodes are insane, dude." What was insane about them necessarily? Like I'm genuinely asking. Like you leave in the comments, why were the last few episodes so good? I don't get it. I don't think they were that good. Compared to the beginning of the show, yeah, they were fantastic because the first 6 episodes, those were just so awful. I don't know exactly what it is that you guys like about this show. And if you hate my opinion, give me the hate. I don't like the show. You can you can disagree with me on that. You can love the show if you want. I do not care if you like the show. I'm glad you like it because there are some interesting things about it. But I just think it's a time waster in my opinion. There's nothing interesting about it. I mean, maybe we're seeing definitely some more story with Mon Mothma and Andor and kind of how the rebels are coming to be and them learning about the Death Star. I like how it connects to Rogue One very well at the end. But aside from all that, I think they could have done all of that. They could have told that whole story in a lot shorter of a time with fewer episodes, maybe things less drawn out. There could have been more action. There definitely should have been more aliens. Not enough aliens. I think that was probably my least favorite part. It just didn't feel enough like Star Wars. Again, no hate to the actors. Absolutely loved their performance. They killed it. The acting in this was fantastic. I just the guy that made the show says he doesn't even like Star Wars. So like obviously it's not going to be that interesting of a show if the person that made it doesn't care about it. I will tell you though, I loved Ben Mendelsohn coming back as Krennic. That was insane. I love his performance as Krennic every time. I need more of Ben as Krennic. I just love seeing his performance. He's so intense and scary and just you can tell when he's talking, it's just like, oh, this is serious. This is important what he's thinking about, like why is he in the room. It's like, oh shoot, this is intense now. This is crazy that he's here, that I'm seeing him for a reason. He's not just here. They didn't overuse his character in a boring way. I think they played Krennic's character very well, and I really enjoyed what was that voice crack? Enjoyed. I really enjoyed seeing his character on screen. That was the best part of the show. Actually, no. You know what? You know what made the show for me? When this dude hit the freaking ground as hard as possible. I was telling my dad a bit about the show. Just like, the whole thing is boring so far until I saw that scene. I was like, holy cow, that is one of the best stunt actors. This man just took a body slam face first into the concrete ground. All cartoon style, legs going up in the air. Like, this man took that hit and boom, went down.
Everybody do the flop.
Applause to that stunt actor, because that made the show for me. That was my favorite part of the show. Seeing you take that fall, that was impressive. Another thing I was so confused about, the girl at the end, I forget her name because I guess I didn't care enough, but the girl that was with Andor and then she left him, you know, he was devastated, and I was a little confused about all that. But then at the end, she's holding a baby. I'm assuming that's hers. If so, what the heck? You just went back on your word saying, oh, well, when this is all over, I'll come find you. Nah, you just went to settle down with some other dude. I honestly don't understand what purpose she had in any of this story at all. Ugh. I'm just disappointed because I expected to see more. I just expected it to be good, and it wasn't. It didn't feel like Star Wars at all. There were definitely some scenes that caught my attention, like when they were invading the house, when Cassian and that other guy were going to pick up Clara after she sent the distress beacon. Those troopers trying to go in. That I feel like that was all very intense. That was fun. And then K2 comes in and just hallway scene again. He just destroys them all. I loved seeing that. But hey, maybe some of you guys can change my mind in the comments. Please leave a comment down below explaining why you liked the show, because I'm genuinely curious. Please try to keep it respectful of my opinion and other people's opinions in the comments. If I didn't like it and you do, that's okay. And vice versa. I definitely think the show had potential, and it wasn't bad. It just didn't feel enough like Star Wars, and it was too slow of a pace for me. And again, there was elements in there that I don't think Disney of all people, should have put in there. That was not acceptable. I don't understand why the show was structured the way that it was. I think that it had, like I said, potential, but was just kind of wasted. But yeah, please comment if you liked it and why. And maybe you'll change my mind on some stuff. I don't know. Probably not. Probably won't. But hey, you know, I'm open to hearing what you guys have to say, because I do want to like the show. I just don't. I just feel like it's overhyped. Like, it's good, but it's not that good, you know?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Well, anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. This was basically just me complaining for however long it's been. I've been recording for like 41 minutes, so I'm gonna have a lot to go through. But yeah, stay tuned, I guess, for more videos and reviews on things. So I will see you guys next time I see you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. May the Force be with you always.